You see, I'm doing an action camera test. I'm testing out the new, I can't say new, Akaso V50 Pro SE because it's been out for quite a while, but it's new to me. So now I've got every one of the Akaso cameras that have ever come out, but I wanted to test its image quality and stabilization. And if I'm out of breath, I apologize. I've been running with these cameras just to see how the stabilization is on all three of the cameras, and to see, the V50X, it is great stabilization. I'm shooting on my trusty Sony FDR-X3000. I love this little camera. I love the front-facing microphones that are stereo. They're very good right out of the camera. It even takes an external audio input, 3.5 millimeter jack in the back, which is very nice if you like to even get a little bit more cleaner audio. Hook up a lapel microphone. If you want to hook up an external shotgun mic, you can do that and get better audio, but the audio coming out of this camera is not bad. Not bad at all. Probably one of the best audios out of any of the cameras, action cameras that I have. So I get asked the question a couple of times, and I actually had a viewer send me an email asking me, well, why do you do product reviews? You obviously are in it just to get free stuff. Man, that couldn't be further from the truth. Now, don't get me wrong, it is cool when you get some really nifty items. There's nothing wrong with that. And am I in it to get free stuff? Absolutely not. I mean, I started my channel for the specific reason of being able to do product reviews and let you, the consumer, know if something was worth it or not. Pretty plain and simple. Because I too am a consumer, and I wanted to do a lot of research online before I spend money on a product. I got an action camera, it's kind of on a whim. I wanted to get an action camera. I looked at the GoPros, and at that time it was a GoPro Hero 4. And I was like, I can't justify that amount of money for a simple little action camera. I mean, it just didn't make any sense to me. So I came across a camera called the SJ4000 by a company called SJ Cam. No electronic image stabilization, but then again, the Hero 4 didn't have it either. And it fit my needs. And I want to say I bought that camera for maybe $62, something like that, which was a drop in a bucket compared to GoPro. And that's what kind of started me on the whole action camera thing, because I was looking for GoPro alternatives where you could get something that gave you good image quality, pretty close to a GoPro, but for a fraction of the cost. And it just kind of ballooned from there. Then I finally got a GoPro. I got a GoPro Hero 5 Black. And when I got that one, I was like, okay, there is a difference between SJ Cam and GoPro. GoPro, god damn, it is hot out here today. I'm gonna have to sit down because it's like 97 degrees and it is noon. It's unreal. And it's October. Anyway, let me grab a seat over here. My fat butt needs to get in better shape. The older you get, the harder it is to maintain a good body weight. Your metabolism changes, but then again, a lot of it's due to my lack of physical activity. But anyway, back to GoPro. When I got the GoPro Hero 5 Black, that's when I realized, okay, there's a reason why GoPro is king. And the image quality was good. The way that they compressed the video, even though, yes, it is in an H.264 container for its video compression, it just did a better job at it. But the quest was still always there to try to find an action camera that was relatively inexpensive compared to a GoPro, because there's a lot of people out there that can't afford to drop $300, $400, $500 on a GoPro. And I wanted to be able to give an honest opinion of what these alternatives were. Some of them, the audio sucked. Some of them, the audio was decent, but the image quality was horrible. Some of them had stuttering frame rates. Some of them, the audio and video got out of sync real easy. Some of them had frame rates that would just fluctuate. It was supposed to be 30 frames a second or 29.97, and it was like 29.97, 30, 25, 27, and those things cause audio to be out of sync. And then the whole 4K craze started. Everybody had to have a 4K action camera because GoPro was offering 4K. So then you had cameras that were saying 4K action camera, which was actually interpolated 4K, which was a 1080p image, or if you were lucky, it was a 2K image that was actually upscaled to 4K. But when you had cameras that had 1080p and they upscaled it to 4K, it just looked really, really bad. Then there was the whole 4K, but it wasn't really 4K. It was like 3.2K, 3.5K. And everybody was trying to get on that whole thing of 4K. Now, I've had this Sony FDRX 3000 for 2.5 years, I think. And yes, it's native 4K. I think its video and color profile out of this camera is really good. I like the audio out of it. It does not have the electronic image stabilization. It's actually optical stabilization. So they have the balanced optical stabilization system where the whole lens assembly moves around inside the camera. Now I've got a larger camcorder, the Sony, it's an AX33 4K camcorder, and that also has the whole eye assembly, lens assembly that moves around, but you can really see it on that one because it's pretty prominent when you see that whole eye just moving around. But I like optical image stabilization just because it gives you smooth enough footage, but it still gives you a little bit of the natural movement of walking and such things, that so it doesn't look like it's been warp stabilized to death. Now, I was saying that, do I like electronic image stabilization and like the GoPro Hero 7, the Osmo Action? Yes, that electronic image stabilization is gimbal-like. If you walk correctly, you still got to do a little bit of a ninja walk. Even if you have a 3-axis gimbal, you still have to do a ninja walk because of the Z-axis of you walking up and down. And they do make some stabilizers that will help with the Z-axis of up and down movement, but if you just ninja walk, you can kind of take care of a lot of that. If you record at a higher frame rate, let's say you're doing 1080 and you're recording at 120 frames per second, you can slow that down in post, and it's amazing when you slow down footage, it takes out a lot of that jarring up and down walking movement. It just makes it kind of glide to where it's not as obvious. And then if you add a little bit, let's say you nest that little piece of footage, you just slow it down, and then you add some warp stabilizer to it, not aggressive, just a little bit, maybe 30%, it will really give you some really nice buttery smooth footage. So, but to the guy, and I'm not going to mention his name, but to the one that sent me the email saying that I'm in it just to get free products, let's make something clear. When I'm doing a review video, so you get a product in the mail shipped to you. Yes, I'm very thankful you get something for free, but it's not really for free, because when you start thinking about, well, I've got to review it, I've got to take time out of my day, and I do have a full-time career, I do have a family, I do have a side gig for filmmaking documentaries, then I have another little side hobby where I do filmmaking, and then I try to throw all of this together. So, but let's just say it's a day off like today. So I'm out with these action cameras, and I'm going to spend probably about 4 hours just videotaping different scenarios. And then it comes to editing, and then you got to edit that footage. So once you edit that footage and you piece it all together, the relevant parts, because there's parts where I just kind of ramble on. So you edit it, now you got to add music to it. So you add some music to it, then you've got to put some titles in there. You got to put bit rates on the bottom of the screen, and then you've got to record again your final thoughts. You got to narrate the portion of the video talking about the product, but there's a cost involved, and it's not just my time, because let's say that on an average product let's say if I spend 4 hours of videoing using the product over the course, I mean, like today it's going to be 4 hours with these cameras, but 4 hours today, maybe another 4 hours on another day off, and then I kind of compile what's really going on, do the tests that I need to do. So let's add in, let's say that's 16 hours. And then you've got to edit. So editing can take, on a great day, an hour and a half. Has only happened a couple of times. Average, 4 to 5 hours of editing. Putting everything together, split screening stuff. And so I get a product, let's say that's $99. And I've just spent 12 hours, 4 hours editing with the 2 4-hour days. So 12 hours of my time on a $99 item. But I'm not done yet. Your editing software costs money. So I use Adobe Premiere Pro. So that is a fee that I pay. And I pay yearly on mine. I just knock it out, get it over with. Then music. Well, you could use YouTube music. But not that it's not good. YouTube has a pretty good audio library. But if you want something a little bit better, then I've got a subscription to Epidemic Sound. Then I have a subscription to Artlist. Then the microphone that I use when I do narration, I've got a Blue Yeti, so that was another $100. So when you add it all in, I am working for about 80 cents an hour or less. So when that person tells me that I'm in it for just getting free products, you know what? It cost me. It costs me to do these reviews. But I enjoy doing them. Yes, I've gotten some cool items. Yes. I knew I heard the squirrels behind me. Yes, I get some really cool items. Yes, some of them are expensive. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful that companies think enough of me to send me an item for me to review it. But for those out there that think that reviewing, oh man, you're just getting all this stuff for free and it costs you nothing. You know, time is money. Let's not forget the computer. You need a computer. If you're on vacation, you need a good laptop. So I've got a nice Rogue laptop that has an i9 processor in it and a nice GPU. I've got my editing beast up at the office. I've got 2 other editing computers at home. So you can see where this stuff just starts adding up. And then a wireless lav mic when I'm doing recordings upstairs up in the game room. Lighting, LED lighting, light ring. It all adds up. And in order to give the consumers a better quality video that they deserve, I'm slowly adding to the production value, and unfortunately that costs money. So I'm not in this for the money. I'm not in this for all these cool free gifts and everything. And then when I give something away, then I get ungrateful people that complain that they didn't get picked, or, you're not sending it to Bangladesh. Well, I'm sorry. The company's not sending it. I'm sending it. And sometimes when it's these items that I give away, these are items that I paid for. So I paid for the item, I reviewed the item, spend all my time with that review and editing and all that. And then I do a contest which takes my time, and then I ship it out on my dollar, and people still have the audacity to complain. And it's, sometimes I just want to say, but I don't. Because you can't let the little naysayers, the little negative Nellies, ruin it for you. For those people that are getting into that little motherfucker right there, that was a spider on me. See that little sumbitch? So I'm gonna move. Not that I'm afraid of spiders, but don't need to get bitten by a brown recluse or anything while I'm out here. But you know, don't let the negative Nellies get at you. For those of you that are looking at product reviews, just remember that it's going to take you time to kind of get into your own groove of how you want to do things, and don't copy somebody else. You can see what 4 or 5 or 6 other reviewers do. Take some of the things that you like I like the way that they do graphics. I like this, I like that. I'm not so much about graphics because I'm just about the meat and potatoes of it. Here's video footage, here's audio footage or audio recording. Here's some test samples. These are my thoughts. I'm not into putting all the graphic stuff on the screen. I'm not that ready to do all that kind of technical jazz. Trying to see what's underneath my truck. That's a bird. There's a bird underneath there. Yeah, that's a squirrel, one of the two. So anyway, that's enough of this video. But this is why I got into product reviews, and I answer that one gentleman, and you know who you are. So don't let the negative people get to you. If you want to make a video, get out there and just make a video. I don't care what it's about. Do a video about what you love. There's a guy called Tim Loves Hiking. He loves to hike. He's got a really funny, sarcastic personality. I like watching his stuff. He does what he likes. I don't care if you like mountain biking or kite flying or whatever it is. I promise you, there are other people out there on this planet that will enjoy your content, because they're also interested in kite flying or hiking or whatever it is. You don't have to be a product reviewer, because let me tell you, when it comes to being a product reviewer, there are so many channels. That niche of product reviews is so deep and so oversaturated that that's one of the reasons why my channel has been a very slow growth, because the competition is just too high. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I enjoy what I do. For the people that do watch my channel, I appreciate it. And hopefully some of them gain some insight, what to buy, what not to buy. Okay, this image is good, the stabilization is good, the audio sucks, like on the V50X. But anyway, I'm going to finish up this video because I got other shit to do today. So I will talk to you guys later. And until the next talking head, I guess. Bye.